Series Introduction. Welcome to the Path to Serenity, Stoic Resilience and Vedantic Enlightenment series. This series aims to explore, define and dissect various emotional challenges that impede personal, intellectual, spiritual and professional growth. We shall draw upon the wisdom of Stoicism, Platonism, Spinozism and Vedanta from their respective ancient writings and scriptures. These philosophical foundations stem from luminaries such as Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, Plato, Baruch Spinoza, alongside the timeless teachings of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita and numerous Upanishads. Despite temporal and geographical distances, these schools offer complementary insights into understanding and mastering one's own mind through lucid comprehension and specialized techniques. This part of the series focuses on anger management, a crucial issue that many face on a daily basis. If someone asserts that they have never felt anger or annoyance throughout their entire life, it's probably not true. Anger is a universal emotion experienced by humans and even animals when their tolerance limits are exceeded. However, genuine wisdom lies in comprehending the nature of anger and its repercussions and mastering the art of managing this innate emotion in a constructive rather than detrimental way. Anger is rocket fuel. Use it not to burn you, but to propel you forward. The Symphony of Emotions. Emotions are an intrinsic part of the human experience, filling the canvas of our lives with vibrant colors. Yet, alongside positive emotions like joy and love, exists a darker side, anger. This primal force can surge in response to perceived injustice, frustration, or threats. While anger can motivate us to fight for what we believe in, unchecked, it becomes destructive, clouding judgment and leading to impulsive reactions, many of which can never be undone. The question arises, how can we navigate our complex emotional landscape, particularly the terrain of anger? Here, the wisdom of Stoicism and Vedanta shines a guiding light. Stoicism, a philosophy of reason. Stoicism, flourishing in the Roman Empire, emphasizes reason over emotion. Its core principles resonate deeply with the struggle to manage anger. Prominent Stoic thinkers like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca left behind a rich legacy of practical guidance. One fundamental Stoic tenet is amor fati, or love of fate. It doesn't imply passive acceptance, but a recognition that certain things are outside our control. External events and others' actions are not ours to change. However, we can control our internal responses, thoughts, emotions, and actions. By focusing on this domain, we cultivate inner peace and resilience even in challenging circumstances. In his work on anger, Seneca argues that anger is a brief madness. In those moments, clear thinking and logic vanish. The Stoics remind us to cultivate a more measured and rational approach to life's challenges. The practice of delay, pausing before the storm. The Stoics offer practical tools. Marcus Aurelius advised reminding ourselves of life's impermanence and not wasting precious energy on fleeting anger. Another powerful technique is the practice of delay. Seneca urged to delay anger so that reason may have time to intervene. This simple yet potent strategy can prevent impulsive reactions fueled by anger. When I was in my teens and 20s and prone to anger, my caring mother would often advise me to count to 10 before reacting, while my wise father would suggest taking a moment to drink a glass of water before responding. When a situation triggers anger, take a few deep breaths. This pause allows reason to reassert itself. Ask yourself, is this situation truly worth my anger? Will getting angry change the outcome? At this point, before deciding to react, applying the Cartesian questions would make great sense. Ask yourself, what will happen if I react? What will happen if I do not react? What will not happen if I react? And what will not happen if I do not react? By stepping back and questioning the situation, you can break the automatic cycle of anger, avoid the potential damages that your anger can cause, and choose a more measured response instead. Journaling your anger, cultivating self-awareness. Journaling is another valuable Stoic practice for managing anger. By writing down your thoughts and feelings surrounding an anger-provoking situation, you can gain valuable insights. This process allows you to deconstruct the situation, identify triggers, and understand your emotional responses. As you write, observe the physical sensations associated with anger, the racing thoughts, and the urge to react. This act of self-observation can help you detach from the intensity of the emotion and gain a more objective perspective. Here are some journaling prompts. What specifically triggered my anger? What thoughts or beliefs fueled my anger? What were my physical sensations during the anger episode? What could have been a more constructive response in this situation? How can I avoid similar situations in the future? By consistently reflecting on your anger triggers and reactions, you develop a deeper understanding of your emotional landscape. Vedanta, the wisdom of the witness. While Stoicism emphasizes reason and perspective, Advaita Vedanta, the highest stage of Vedanta, rooted in the ancient Indian philosophy of the Vedas, delves deeper into knowing and experiencing the ultimate self, beyond which no truth can exist. Realizing this truth enables the easy identification of the root cause of anger as one of the mere waves of thought that arise from mental attachments. It teaches us that we are not simply our emotions, but rather the conscious observers of them. In the Katha Upanishad or Kathopanishad, the analogy of the chariot unfolds like this. The chariot represents the body. The charioteer embodies the intellect. The horses depict the senses that tend to pull the chariot in different directions. The path symbolizes the world filled with sensory stimuli that the body inhabits. The reins signify the mind, which directs our decisions and deeds, and the master of the chariot epitomizes the omnipresent Atman in the guise of the individual Jivatma. The key to managing anger, according to Vedanta, lies in strengthening the charioteer or intellect so that the horses or emotions can be skillfully guided along the path of righteousness. When the charioteer is weak or distracted, the horses or emotions take control, leading us down impulsive and destructive paths. However, when the charioteer or the intellect is strong and mindful, it can guide the horses with wisdom and compassion. The power of awareness, detaching from the storm. When anger arises, practice observing it with detached awareness. Notice the physical sensations in your body, the tightness in your chest, the clenching of your jaw, and the rapid heartbeat. Notice the rapid stream of thoughts and your impulse to react. Label it. This is anger. By simply observing the emotion without judgment, you detach yourself from its power. You become the witness rather than the participant in the storm of anger. Think about it. How would it feel to be physically present out in the open when it is heavily stormy, and how would it feel to watch such a severe storm on television? Sources of mindfulness techniques. The concept of mindfulness, encompassing practices such as observing emotions without judgment, finds its origin in various traditions, including Buddhism. In Buddhist teachings, mindfulness meditation is a central practice aimed at fostering present moment awareness and alleviating suffering. Within Theravada Buddhism, Vipassana meditation, a form of mindfulness meditation, emphasizes the detached observation of thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations. Similarly, in Zen Buddhism, Zazen meditation involves silent sitting and attentively observing the arising and passing of thoughts and emotions. Over time, with consistent practice, you will find it easier to manage anger and response consciously rather than impulsively. This detached awareness allows you to see the situation more clearly and choose a more constructive response. The art of forgiveness, letting go of resentment. Another crucial technique in anger management is forgiveness. Anger often stems from feelings of hurt, injustice, or betrayal. It is the direct result of not being able to come to terms with a certain situation or even the thought of such a situation. We cling to these negative emotions, allowing them to fester and fuel our anger. It is necessary to understand the importance of letting go of resentment. This doesn't mean condoning the actions of others, but rather releasing ourselves from the burden of negativity. The Srimad Bhagavad Gita, known as the essence of Vedanta, offers a unique perspective on understanding and managing anger. While the word forgiveness isn't explicitly used in the context of anger, core Vedantic principles indirectly encourage letting go of negativity and cultivating a state of mind conducive to inner peace. Here's how Vedanta sheds light on anger. The duality of happiness and suffering. Vedanta teaches that clinging to desires and attachments leads to suffering. This can be applied to anger. When we hold on to anger or resentment, we remain attached to a negative experience or perceived injustice. By letting go of this attachment, we free ourselves from its grip and open ourselves to the possibility of greater happiness. The Srimad Bhagavad Gita elucidates the progression of anger in a comprehensible manner. When a person fixates on sense objects, attachment towards them arises. This attachment begets desires, which in turn gives rise to anger. Anger leads to delusion, leading to confusion of memory. When memory is clouded, intelligence diminishes, ultimately resulting in the individual's downfall. The Atman, or self, and the mind. Vedanta posits the Atman, the unchanging eternal self, distinct from the ever-fluctuating mind and its emotions. Anger is a product of the mind. By focusing on the Atman, we can learn to detach from negative emotions and cultivate inner peace. This detachment allows us to view the situation with more clarity and respond more constructively. The practice of meditation, cultivating inner stillness. Meditation is a powerful tool offered by Vedanta for managing anger. It helps to cultivate inner stillness and awareness, allowing us to observe our emotions without getting caught up in them. Through regular meditation practice, we strengthen our character and intellect and develop the ability to respond to situations with greater calmness and clarity. There are many different meditation techniques, but here's a simple one you can try. Find a quiet place where you can sit comfortably without distractions. Close your eyes or gently focus your gaze on a single point. Take slow, deep breaths, feeling your breath move in and out of your body. When your mind wanders, as it inevitably will, gently bring your attention back to your breath. Observe any thoughts or emotions that arise, including anger, with detached awareness. Don't judge yourself for having these emotions. Simply observe and let them go. Start with short meditation sessions, even just a few minutes a day, and gradually increase the duration as you become more comfortable. With consistent practice, meditation can become a powerful tool for managing anger and cultivating inner peace. The synergy of wisdom, a combined approach. The beauty lies in the synergy between Stoicism and Vedanta. Stoicism emphasizes reason and perspective, while Vedanta leads the seeker directly to the core of subjective awareness and encourages self-awareness and detachment. By combining these approaches, we can build a robust inner toolkit for effectively dealing with the highly destructive emotion of anger. Here's how you can integrate these two philosophies. From Stoicism. When a situation triggers anger, employ the delay technique. Take a few deep breaths, remind yourself of the impermanence of life, and question whether getting angry is truly beneficial. Label the emotion as anger and observe it without judgment. From Vedanta. Delve into the source to identify who exactly is experiencing this rage. In doing so, you will realize that your true self is a non-doer. Now, simply observe the emergence of your anger, detach yourself from it through awareness, and understand that it is the three gunas, sattva representing calmness and goodness, rajas representing passion, and tamas representing indolence, that are interacting with sense objects while you remain a passive observer. Remember, managing anger is a lifelong journey. There will be times when you stumble. Life throws curveballs, and even the most practiced techniques may not always prevent an angry outburst. But don't be discouraged by setbacks. View them as opportunities to learn and grow. Here are some additional tips to support you on your anger management journey. Identify your triggers. What situations or people typically make you angry? By recognizing your triggers, you can be more prepared to manage your response. For example, if rush hour traffic gets you riled up, plan extra time for your commute or find alternative routes with less congestion. Practice relaxation techniques. Deep breathing exercises, progressive muscle relaxation, and mindfulness meditation can all help to reduce stress and anger. These techniques can be practiced anywhere, anytime, making them a convenient and effective way to manage your emotional state. Communicate assertively. When you need to express your needs or frustrations, do so calmly and clearly. Avoid accusatory language and focus on finding solutions. For example, instead of saying, "You always make me late," try saying, "I feel stressed when we are running behind schedule. Can we discuss ways to be more punctual in the future?" Seek professional help. If you struggle to manage your anger on your own, consider seeking therapy from a qualified professional. A therapist can help you identify the root causes of your anger and develop effective coping mechanisms. Conclusion: finding stillness within. Anger, as we all know, is a natural human emotion. However, by understanding its roots and developing healthy coping mechanisms, we can transform our relationship with anger. Through the wisdom of Stoicism and Vedanta, we can cultivate inner stillness and respond to life's challenges with greater calmness and clarity. Remember, the journey to managing anger is not about eradicating this emotion entirely. It's about learning to manage anger in a healthy and constructive way. By harnessing the power of reason, self-awareness, and detachment, we can navigate the storms of anger and find the stillness within. When intelligently managed, the negative energy in anger can also be used as rocket fuel to propel oneself forward. In the third chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Krishna states that he who controls his five senses but has a mind which constantly thinks of sense objects is foolish and is known as a charlatan. But he who remains unattached regulates his mind and with his five sense organs performs karma yoga, which entails performing one's work with no attachment to the result but with social responsibility as a guiding factor, is more special. With dedication, study, research, practice, and the right application of the great ancient philosophies of Stoicism and Vedanta, attaining mental peace and achieving harmony in one's life should not be difficult. I wish you great health, peace, happiness, prosperity, enrichment, and fulfillment in your life ahead. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of anger management. See you in the next exploration of Overcoming Fear, which will be the second part of this series titled The Path to Serenity, Stoic Resilience and Vedantic Enlightenment. Until then, stay calm, peaceful, and happy.